In 1819, a meeting took place which would become a strange kind of omen over the entire history of digital games. This meeting was between the chess-playing automaton known as the Turk, and a 28-year-old Charles Babbage. This brilliant young man was not inclined to take the machine as genuine, and after having been bested by it twice, saw it for the hoax it was. But with this encounter, the Turk began something inside Babbage which would remain close to his heart for a number of years. He became taken with the idea that a game of skill could be played by a machine, and so sought to make the illusion of the Turk a reality. His mind then set to build an automata of his own. His choice of game was not so ambitious as chess, but rather the game then called tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe, being a solved game, was an obvious choice, with every possible move being easily mapped. And so in his 1848 preparatory notes we find a decision-making algorithm for the machine. What we may call the first computer game program, hidden away in scattered notes. And although this would be a kind of game of skill, Babbage imagined the ideal opponent of his machine to be a young child. Babbage imagined an interactive experience for the child in which they would be entertained not only by the game itself, but also with a kind of responsive player feedback. 4 figures would be represented on the machine, 2 children, a rooster and a lamb. Their reaction would alternate for either a win state or a loss state. In the event of a win, the child claps his hands and the rooster crows. A positive reinforcement to endear the child to the feeling of victory. In the event of a loss, the child cries and the lamb would bleat. This would be a kind of mocking punishment, challenging the child to play again. An entire psychological conditioning which commanded a continued engagement with the machine. This was a kind of intellectual exercise for Babbage, one never completed, but which he returned to throughout his life. Let us not take away from the fact he envisioned financial returns if these plans were to be realized. And so it happens that already in the 1840s we have the first concept of a kind of proto-digital game, being a financial scheme aimed at separating children from their parents' money, same as it ever was.